Hello everybody and welcome to Energetic Principles Horoscopes for this Leo season. My name is Melissa LaFara and I am an astrologer and tarot reader from San Diego, California. And today we're going to talk about what's in store for this Leo season. So let's get started.
And may the stars be with you.
All right, Taurus and Taurus Rising. What does this Leo season hold for you? Well, you know, Leo season is a time of year that might actually be a little challenging for Taurus, to be honest, because it is a sign that is a little difficult for Taurus energy to integrate. So just know this month there's a lot of changes in store, but you're going to be better in the long run for all the energy that is prompting things at this time. So what can we expect? It's a very active month. We have two new moons in Leo, and the first new moon is just your regular old new moon that's happening at 0 degrees Leo, and that is happening on Sunday, July 23rd. And then we're going to have our super great American solar eclipse, aka our second new moon. At the end of Leo season, and that will be August 21st, which is a Monday. So to put these two things together, where are you going to be new mooning? Well, Taurus is going to have new vitality around your home and your family. Your home, family, your emotional foundation is going to be really kind of getting a boost of this Leo season, and you're going to be putting things into place that are going to show themselves probably about 8 to 10 months down the road. So just know, you know, when things hit the area of this area of your chart, chances are there might be some endings in areas that no longer serve you in a sense. So just be aware that if things are falling away from your life at this time, know that they've run their course, and that's just the way it has to be. And that's okay. And it's time to begin anew and from a stronger foundation, because really, you know, this area of your chart has to do with tapping into how strong that emotional self is, and how tied in are we to childhood reactive responses around things that come up in our life. So this is a perfect time to gain awareness on how you can build a stronger internal foundation and a stronger psychological foundation, and to really, you know, because if you're strong where you stand, you're strong anywhere you go. So this is the time for you to kind of rebuild old structures that, especially emotional structures that no longer work for you, and especially in areas of the home and the family, and you know, how you feel secure in life. So there's a lot of psychological work that can be done at this time, and it's more about psychological awareness. Like this is your opportunity, in a sense, to move forward in those areas and from a stronger foundation, and really build the self. Just build the self up to a solid place. So the next aspect we're going to be having is Friday, August 4th, when Jupiter in Libra is going to square Pluto in Capricorn. And this has been going on. This is a long cycle that is actually getting to its last crisis point. So there's areas of this that we've been working on since 2007. That's how long, this takes. And so the last 8 years or so, really, Taurus has been getting out of its comfort zone and going after the big visions that, that it has in life, and really getting more in touch with what it is that you believe, like what is your life theory? Like, why are we here? Like these big picture questions, existential questions of sorts. And so, you've been asked to constantly renew yourself and get out of your comfort zone, which, hello, you're a Taurus. You want to get out of your comfort zone? Probably not. But really that's where you've been working. And especially getting out of that comfort zone of always having to control something. Or you know, like, or even working too much, or, you know, or just being too ambitious in certain areas, like letting certain ambitions go. But that being said, with this Jupiter energy in Libra, you know, you're kind of having a final crisis around, you know, relationships that are in your day-to-day life, you know, like the people that you see every day, and, you know, who you interact with, and, you know, they are kind of, you might be asked to be a little more compromising and a little less critical of the folks, and maybe not always be right in certain situations. You might be asked to kind of pull back or be challenged with how we relate, you know, based off those considerations. But ultimately, it's about spreading, you know, like where you're finding renewal is spreading your wings, and getting out there more. And to be honest, like when you're having these contacts, you might feel a little challenged by your day-to-day reality and how that's not really letting you go after the things that can expand your horizons in a sense. And so you know, the part of it has to do with your belief system too, and how your reality is set up basically on things that you believe, and whether or not those are outdated or not, and need to be transmuted into something new that's stronger, may come up at this time. So it's best to be realistic about the growth that's happening right now, and if past ideals no longer work for you in today's reality, then it's time to let those go and re-envision something new for yourself. You know, so it's another point to maybe step out of any worry that you have about, you know, your day-to-day reality, and the people that are involved in that reality. Stop worrying about that and step into a little more faith about the what it is that you've built and the people that are in your life. Because, you know, we just, you know, you really are going to gain the most from allowing yourself to experience. So how can you set up your day-to-day reality in the people that you interact with, so that you can experience more and get out there, in a sense. So this is a long transit. It's not something, it's probably going to sneak up. It's not something that's going to happen right there. This is just considerations, and this is just part of a cycle. So let's talk about our next aspect is the full moon eclipse in Aquarius. And that's going to be happening in your area of career and recognition and what the social society sees you as, you know, and what authority you hold. And so you may be a little emotional around those areas. Career might have you feeling a little, you know, for lack of better words, and you're going to feel emotionally around your need for public recognition, and sharing and being out there in the public eye in some way. You know, your home and your career probably have been in flux for a long time, and this whole cycle in Leo season is really boosting that in some regards, but also releasing and letting go, and ending certain areas having to do with your home, family, and your career as well. So you might feel a little out of sync with your job right now, or feel a little distant and alienated, you know, from that, you know, putting yourself out there, or even being able to. So just know there's some type of emotional ending that's really happening around your career and legacy. You know, some emotion that you can let go of, so that you can really become stronger in that area, because that's important. You know, how we're viewed and what we leave behind when we're gone is essentially what the reminder of who we were, and that can happen with our children. If you have any children, you can be tested on your own authority to be able to put things in place at this time, and for them to listen to you. So just know there's some emotional considerations around, you know, that area of your life. And chances are you're gonna be in the spotlight during this full moon. You know, when anything is in that area of the 10th house, you can't help but be noticed. So just maybe be aware of some full moon breakdowns in public, just FYI. If you find yourself there, that could happen. But hopefully you're getting, there's an apex or an emotional awareness around what it is you want to, you know, what ambitions you have, and what you want the public to see you as and to recognize you for. And hopefully there will be some release in that area that will allow for change. So then we're going to talk about Mercury, who's going retrograde this Leo season, and it's going to be retrograde Saturday, August 12th. It's going to retrograde from Virgo back to Leo until September 5th. For you Taurus, you're going to be working on, you're going to be reassessing your self-expression, in a sense, and you're going to be reviewing your love relationships, how you relate to your children, your parent, how you give that love, how you give love, how you share your creative self with others. This is going to be coming up for you, and you're going to really start to assess, is my mind and my thoughts on board to allow myself to express myself? Am I giving myself that chance? So there's a lot of internal processing going on right now, especially around what brings you joy, what brings joy to your life, and how can you grasp onto that? Because this is Leo season, we're all trying to align with our own heart's desire. So for you, your mind is just going to have to get a rework around really really understanding what it is that your creative energy brings to your life, in a sense, and also where you can take more risks and risks to find more love in life, essentially, because sometimes we can't find the joy that we need because we don't put ourselves out there enough. So especially because it's going to retrograde back into Leo, which is going to be, once again, reviewing your thoughts and communication around your emotional foundation and how you nurture yourself. And if your mind is really cultivating what is needed to find the nourishment necessary to really be able to express yourself and get your creativity out there, and to show your joy to the world. So these are a lot of considerations that will probably be on your mind during this Mercury retrograde season. And just take your time, go over it. It's an eternal process. It's not something we have to act upon. In fact, don't act upon it. It's more of a processing. So review and reassess at this time. And then lastly, we're going to talk about Venus in Cancer, who will be opposing Pluto and squaring Jupiter, the transit we talked about earlier. And that's going to happen on Tuesday and Wednesday, August 15th and 16th. And for you, that's going to really be around opening up to, new ways of thinking in your relation, in ways of relating. Like, how can you get your mind on board to share with other people, worry a little less about what it is you're sharing, and then in turn you renew your ability to expand yourself in this world, and really open up new doors for you. So just know that good relationships right now really depend upon your own compassionate thinking for yourself and other people. And don't worry so much. We're allowed to have new experiences in life, and this could be testing you to kind of once again get out of that comfort zone. So since life is in a flux, it's just time to stay a little flexible in some areas, and know that this might bring some type of challenging crisis point, like a turning point of sorts, to where you're going to have to you're just going to have to find a way to compromise a little bit more and cooperate, especially in your communications. And then in turn, you're going to see some growth in the area of your day-to-day reality by changing those thought processes and finding a little more reception around them, and to take things a little bit further. So, you know, Taurus, it's time to redo that foundation this Leo season. How can you get that foundation in a more solid place? All right, Taurus, so what do the tarot have in store for you this Leo season? Well, we have the Two of Swords as our focus and the Tower as our grounding. And these can be a little bit of a trying cards, and it's really reinforcing that theme of rebuilding structures that no longer work for you. You may have been choosing not to see something in your life, and it's time to really see now and embrace that and understand that that is not built on something solid. So you can now rework that to be in a better position for yourself. You know, you may have had to decide between two things. That's made it a little difficult. Two paths present themselves and you're kind of at a stalemate as like, what? I don't know, but I have to change. Something's got to change, but I have to go one way or the other. And this is also a time where, you know, logic might not necessarily be your friend. You might want to listen to your intuition a little bit at this time, instead of logically reworking things over and over. You know, like what is that voice like way back there say, and how can we use that to really create change in our lives? But let's face it, change is here for you, and you have to embrace it. And really just ride that wave, because you know these structures no longer support you, and you'll be happy in the end that you were able to do so. Just know that diplomacy is a must in this situation. So if things are breaking down and you have to rebuild, you know, do so from a place you know, the best place you can, especially with others that are involved. And you might need to just do a little reflection this month and spend some time with yourself to really understand the things that are happening, and to have a period of rest to where your mind can get in a place to where it is able to see the truth of something. And if the things happen to you and you don't know what to do, you might just have to trust and like just, you know, you don't have an answer, but you're just going to have to trust the situation and roll with the punches, in a sense. So just know that this can, what I said again, it could be a little bit of a trying month, but you're rebuilding on the stronger structure, and from a place of intuition and more trust, and understanding, you know, areas of your life that much more, because they're not in the dark any longer. It's time to bring those to light. So let's do that, Taurus. Let's rebuild that foundation. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to find out more about me or find where I'm at, you can find me at energeticprinciples.com. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Energetic Principles. I also do a weekly podcast, Astrology and Tarot and Inspirational Quote podcast with Shauna McGrath of Neo Feminine Astrology. And that is called The Feminine Principle, Astrology for Authentic Living. All right, so I hope everyone has a wonderful Leo season. And if you like what you see here today, please subscribe to my channel and share with friends. And plus, I'd love to hear your comments and how Leo season is treating you. So please leave comments down below. So I hope everybody has a wonderful season with the Lion. And as always, may the stars be with you.